This video is brought to you by Patterson Car Care. Get double the premium detail product for half the price. Head over to pattersoncarcare.com or go to the link in the description below. Gentlemen, we are in a car I have been so excited to drive. I got this amazing opportunity, and here's the best part, I got an even better version. I originally was going to review the stock GT500 on track. That was the only opportunity Ford gave me, but I really wanted to do it on the street. At the same time, the factory car makes 760 to the crank. This one makes a little bit more. This one is essentially the world record drag time setting GT500, the 2020 GT500, and it is surprisingly near stock. When it comes to modifications, it's essentially a pulley, E85, and injectors, and a tire in the back. That's about it. So what kind of power did this make? Well, with a mocked up cold air intake, it made 930 wheel horsepower. Oh God. Okay. Wow. This is, okay. This feels like a built motor car. Like somebody went in, built the motor, put a big blower on it, but the blower is still factory. There is nothing different about it. It's not ported or anything. Yeah, just for a second, it spun, but then it caught right back. It's not a big deal at all. It is cold today, so we are gonna spin a little bit, but still, it spins straight. It doesn't kick all over the place. It's pretty amazing. So this is the Tang Stang after the wonderful 90s drink that we all loved in our childhood. It definitely plays the part. This orange really pops. It's gorgeous. And the number one thing about the GT500 is in person does not justify the renders. The other way around. The renders do not justify what it looks like in person. A lot of people did not like that they went with the 17 Mustang GT headlights instead of the new 18 Plus, but it really works for the car. It's aggressive, and also they had some carbon pieces that they had to mold for this front end, and they realized that the 18 front end, they would have to remold it again. So they stuck with the 17 front end when it came to the carbon fiber. Now, I really like the black painted trim pieces. They weren't lazy. It's not just textured black plastic. Going from that, they have these enormous side skirts, and this also has the handling package. The handling package has these enormous diffusers up front, and it follows all the way around the car to add extra downforce. So the days of a Mustang not being able to handle, I don't want to hear that anymore. It's over. The thing is about these new Mustangs, especially the GT500 and the GT350, is that they have Magnerite suspension, big wheels and tires, huge brakes. This has a massive Brembo brake setup, and on the back, you'll notice there's a dual caliper setup in the back. And I asked, just in case I didn't say anything stupid, I asked what that was, and it's actually the parking brake is the additional caliper, because this actually has an electronic parking brake. Now I'm going down this extremely tight road in North Georgia, and if this was in a live axle Mustang, no, it wouldn't be fun at all. But this, you barely turn in. The 305 size tire up front, bam, you're right in. There's no, wow, that sounds amazing. There's no sense of delay in the steering. Also, it has this incredibly aggressive hood vent on this car. The hood on this car is 100% functional. So if you look at it from the right angle, you can see the motor, you can see the blower, you can see all the workings of everything. It's really cool that when you pop the hood, you can see who built it, you know, built with pride. Very much like the Germans do with the AMGs or the Nissan GTR. You know, it has the stamp of approval from the person who built it. When they developed this car, the engineers stated that they went through 400 sets of tires to make sure they got this right. Originally, the car comes with Michelin's. This has a Toyo 888 out back to get that rear end traction, especially at the drag strip. To give you perspective, this ran 9.7 at 144 miles an hour with these minor upgrades. The incredible value per dollar you're getting in this car is inexcusable. I was incredibly worried that when the C8 was unveiled in comparison for a cheaper price, even though before tax and everything else it's going to be expensive, I thought that the GT500 would not get its true limelight it deserved. And I was wrong. People are really having fun with these cars, and at the same time, they have proven their worth. Now let's also talk about the interior. Back in the day with, say, a 13-14 GT500, because that was the last time a GT500 was made, you kind of felt ripped off when you got the interior. It was essentially a Mustang GT interior with some suede inside. There was nothing different. The newer GT500 has tons of goodies. You have carbon fiber dash, you have a digital dash that comes from the Mustang GT, but it's a little bit nicer. You have the My Color, you can change everything. The Recaro seats are next level, and it can fit all sorts of people of all sorts of shapes and sizes. And the cool thing about these Recaros is that they're not too skinny and not too wide. I am perfectly planted in these things. And the color of the white stitching and everything, it just works. Even the rear seats have suede and Alcantara. They went the extra mile with this interior. This is a 7-speed DCT. This is a dual clutch in a Mustang. So when you first get on the throttle, it acts like how a Lamborghini or a Ferrari would with a dual clutch when you get that slight bit of delay when you're about to start moving. But when you go through the shifts, especially in the auto mode, it is just insane. And oh man, I just got that roller coaster feeling. Dude, this thing pulls on your temples so hard when you start peeling back right here. What is this? This feels like, this is not a Mustang. What in the world? So, I hate to admit it, but the turning radius is not hot. But I will say, the weirdest thing to see in a Mustang is one, an electronic parking brake. The second is that I'm turning a knob to go into the transmission instead of either a column shifter or a shifter down in the center console. But is it weird to get used to at first? A little bit. Is it terrible? No. The DCT, not everybody in the performance community is confident in it yet because they think it might be the weak. I'm still trying to get my words after that pull, sorry. They still think it might be the weak link of this car, but I see why people stick with it because this thing shifts so fast. But what's cool is if you pull on the paddle when you're cruising, it'll go to the lowest gear possible. Dude. Ah, how does gonna sound clip under this bridge? Like I said earlier, it does spin, but that is with traction control on. And like I said, 930 wheel horsepower. Once you've driven enough cars, eventually you're like, I know what that feels like. But when you're doing it in this car that feels nimble at the same time, because when I drove in a 1,000 wheel horsepower Demon, that Demon did one thing. It went like this. And it laid down black marks all the way down the highway. This is, wait a minute, I just scared myself, and yet I could go to the circuit track still. Unreal. But feature is so fascinating. I'm not gonna do a pull right now, but look, watch. Now it's ready to go. The manual mode though, if I press down on the knob, see I can downshift and then go into it. It is not like the GT's paddles where when you go into it and you hit the paddle, it'll have a slight delay. Since this is dual clutch, it shifts just as fast as essentially a Lamborghini or a high-end supercar. Like I said before, it's almost hard to call this thing the Mustang because I don't even know what to say. We are in an era where 10 years ago, you'd have to build basically a fully built motor, go race gas, full send, twin turbos, everything to get to this point. And now you can, out of the box, buy something that's this fast already. It's not like this is a slow car when you first get it, but this is just something else. We also have a cat delete, which I forgot to mention earlier, and that's why it's a hair louder than stock. But this also has basically baffles or valves in the exhaust to open and close for a quiet mode, a normal mode, which normal mode is really boring. That's why you want to drive it in sport and track mode. Just an overall insane package that they have come up with. And this is the poor man's, I say poor man's, it's not a cheap car by any means, but when it comes to Ford creating a halo car that isn't the Ford GT, so far, it's pretty ridiculous. This is what dreams are made of. So even though the manual mode in this has plastic paddles, they do have a nice texture to them, and they don't feel cheap even though they're plastic. I know that sounds kind of contradictory, but the paddles in the normal 10-speed Mustangs, they feel kind of cheap, unfortunately. Also, another thing is the wing on the back. It's their new spoiler / wing design they have formed. They call it a spoiler and a wing, and I totally forgot that there was a difference, to be honest with you, but it creates downforce. It has this very nice, sleek look to it, while also being functional. It's not just an aesthetic thing. They essentially took everything they learned from the GT350, and that car was a huge hit in the car community. And unfortunately, it was kind of overlooked. A lot of people thought it was just another Shelby Mustang with a blower on it, but they didn't realize the technology and research that was involved in the flat plane crank that can rev to over 8,000 RPM. The thing is though, this 5.2 liter uses a cross plane crank, which you go, oh man, I'm disappointed. Don't be. This one, with the tune and the extra power and all the management, this goes to 8,200 RPM. So it's all good. You're gonna have that sensation. The 350 was never meant to be a huge drag car. It was definitely meant to be more of a circuit race car and a nice daily driver with a nice Tremec 6-speed transmission, not the MT82 that's in the Mustang GT. So it made it feel special and more put together. But a lot of people who beat the GT350 in a straight line would celebrate, which I understand. It's still 500 horsepower, but it didn't have that bottom end torque that this does. This is definitely more of the all-arounder. You can go around a circuit track with absolutely no problem while also dominating at the drag strip. People are running 10-second quarter miles factory with these things, and I just don't get it. We live in a time where we're so jaded to horsepower and so jaded to these releases of all these brands and this horsepower war that's been going on for almost 10 years, that when you see a car do 10-second stock, that is impressive. People don't understand that, but they go, oh, I mean, it only did 10s, See how fast that is? Wants to review GT500, does basically 1,000 horsepower GT500 first. I did not think that this car was worth the price tag, and now I actually do. Doesn't mean I'm gonna get one anytime soon, probably not, but I get it now. I totally get it. I remember when they announced it and they said it was gonna be 70 grand plus, I was like, gee, I don't know, man, because you know, the 13, 14 was about 54 grand. Yeah, no, this, I don't even know what to say anymore. I've driven a lot of fast cars. I mean, a lot of fast cars. It's so exhilarating. It's not just because I own a Mustang, I promise. I'm looking at this subjectively through every fast car I've ever driven. And when it comes to power per dollar, there's only like 2,500 bucks invested in this car, and it runs 9s. On that note, I would like to plug the YouTube channel of this car. Definitely check it out. I have the link down in the description below. Huge thanks to letting me drive this. Lee is a super awesome guy. He drove all the way here and trailered it for me to drive. What do you guys think about the new GT500? And also, what do you think about this one in particular? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.